Okay, hello, hello, hello. How is everybody? Hope you're all well and you can all hear me. Good, good, good. First off, thank you for the super sticker, Gerald Gregor. Thank you so much, my friend. Even before I got on, amazing. Hope everyone can hear me okay, see me okay, loud and clear. Linda Longmire, lovely. Thank you so much. Graham Burt, you're here too. All good. M. Kaylee. Fan Tabby Dozy. As you know, today is Friday the 14th of July, and we're in the middle heading home. We've had a long, very wet day today. It's been persisting all day. And Mr. Redfern here hasn't been very happy because he's got wet. Anyway, we've managed to moor up just in time, and we are nearly back to our home mooring. But the internet's good, which is always a bonus when we're out on the boat. So before I get into doing the recaps of the 360 and Rob Lynn from the day before yesterday with our CEO, Ash Mufareh. Janet Butler and Daryl Cook are doing a... what are they doing? They're having a class on how to enter the competition. So if anyone was wondering what you have to do and all the rest of it, they are going to go through the whole process, show you on the webinar tonight. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern. That is when they're going to be doing that. Okay, so details will be in the back office for that. If you want to know how to do the contest, or you're unsure and you may have got lost or whatever you need to do, they are doing that tonight. So make sure, if you are somebody who hasn't done the contest yet and you want to, go over and they will show you how to do it. Okay. So if you didn't know already, Peter Sarer, along with Janet Butler and Daryl Cook, have done the recap notes. They are in your O-Founders back office underneath the update section. Go and have a look at those. They are very concise. It goes through a lot of the information, and obviously I am going to run through those in my own manner to give you a bit of an update with the recaps of when we saw our CEO on 360 and all the rest of it. One thing I won't be doing, guys, is talking about money, talking about costs, talking about things like that. Why? Precisely because our CEO asked us not to be mentioning anything to do with money and costs on social media. This is social media, so I will not be doing it. And if you want to know yourself, the recap is written up there, gives you a good idea. And also the recordings of 360 and also Rob Lynn, where he was on there as well, they are all there. So let's get going then. Okay. Ash was saying, what's the buzz all about? Well, the teams are working hard day and night. We should acknowledge there is much positive pressure and accountability and pride also from the workforce to get the job done in a timely manner. We acknowledge that this is a matter of time before we are making some historical moves. Now, I really do believe we are very, very close at the moment to the next stage. He says, I feel for the first time that we have cultivated a sense of greatness. When you change someone's life, that is a sign of greatness. To do something great is not doing a presentation. It is of greatness. It is when someone else has improved you from the efforts that they have made. Leaders start that journey in greatness by being the initiator. The followers are the center point of their greatness. What does that really mean in layman's terms? It basically means that everything they are doing for other people, not for themselves. It is for a third party. And that really is the hallmark of great leadership, and great leaders when you are actually doing things for other people rather than your own self-gratification. Now, we've said this many times, haven't we, that when you are doing things for others, not only does it make you feel good inside, but it also gives you a sense of self-satisfaction that you are doing it for other people. I totally agree with that as well. I think my journey in OnPassive, I've become a much wholer person, a better person because of what I've learned from the leadership of my CEO, Ash Mufareh, and other good leaders around me as well. As they say, if you hang around with people who are better than you, you become a better person as well. And I totally agree with that. So a very profound statement, and one I totally agree with you. He said, I feel we have just started that sense of greatness for thousands of others to come. Remember, the event is not great until you have changed someone's life. After that, you have walked the walk, as they say. He went in then to talk a little bit about package costs, etc. If you want to know all about that, it's in the written details. And also, he did reiterate that the price for the founders, when finalized, will include all credits applied into the wallets. This is the money, remember, that we are getting back for our founders fee. So stay tuned for that news. He said this will be explained in a document that you are signing when you pay for your packages. Now, that certainly goes along the lines of what I've been saying for a very long time, that it's been my belief that as far as costings is concerned and what things are going to cost, commissions, etc., will all be in the documentation that we sign to agree to those packages. And that has been reiterated. So I'm very, very glad that I certainly was on the right track as far as that was concerned. And he then went on to say, you can listen to the recording and hear Ash's explanation of this process. So to be accurate, you are keeping... we are keeping actual monetary figures out of these notes. That was from Peter Sarer. Okay, so he then took a load of questions. This was on Rob Lynn. One of the questions was, would you like a beautiful, attractive pay structure that is not acceptable? He asked, would you like a beautiful, attractive pay structure that is not accepted by the regulators? And from then on, the company has had to repair things down the road, or trust the company that it will pay you long-term for life, that is sustainable and acceptable to the best of the company's ability and in compliance with regulators. Now, I'm going to expand on that as well. Sorry, who's that sent me? Anthony Abete. Thank you so much for your super sticker. Sorry, guys, I'm going backwards and forwards for the chat and also for the notes as well. So let me just expand on payments and all the rest of it. How many times have you come across companies that promise almost extortionate amounts of monies, commissions, all the rest of it? You get very excited by what you hear, and maybe at the beginning everything seems fantastic and rosy, and then hey presto, down the line, whether it's 2 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, all of a sudden everything goes completely pear-shaped. Either the company close or they get closed down because of the FSCs and other governmental bodies because they're not doing it correctly. I myself personally would much rather be associated and be part of a company that is here for the long haul. And I mean, it is going to be here in 10 years time, 20 years time, and after I'm not here. This is what I'm looking for, and this is what we have with OnPassive. Why? Because they want to be compliant. They want to do it in the correct manner. Does this mean that we are not going to get paid well? No, it doesn't mean we are not going to get paid well at all. It means they are going to give us as much as they possibly can, legally and above board, and being compliant with everything that is legally allowed for them to do it. We must trust the company that they are going to give us as much as they possibly can legally. That is music to my ears. For me, it is. And I certainly know that they will do everything within their powers to honor that. So I was just expanding on that, guys, for myself. But that's how I feel about it. I don't know how you do. But as they have said, leave it up to the company. Okay. They also said we have several legal teams in different regions to make sure we are in compliance with all the regulatory departments within those countries. And he said, when a company starts tracking people, okay, red flags do occur. So make sure we have to make sure that we are doing it all right and above board. He said, we have more explanations. We will thrill you. The lawyers have to check and recheck to make sure it will work. But I can tell you now, he said, it is absolutely amazing. It pleasures me to make sure I can give as much as I can. And that is, again, music to my ears. When you have a CEO who's saying he actually wants to give as much as possible, then you know you're in the right place. He said, we did not want to damage the journey through ethics, integrity, and the value before money. So that we've been saying this time and time again. OnPassive is not a company that's built by promises of money. It's built because we are ethical, we have integrity, and above all, we are giving value. Money is powerful, but doesn't bring happiness and purpose. Integrity, value, helping, giving, all of these do. He said, I am intrigued by being the most generous, impactful, and valuable company over the richest company. These are things that I'm not looking at. I'm not looking to be the richest. I'm looking at the one to be the generous, most generous and valuable. Helping others to maximize their potential is my goal. He said, also said, don't be stuck by the details of what the commissions will be. Leave that up to the experts, knowing that they are going to give you the best they possibly can. He said, I have found a way to be compliant, but the challenge is to be unlimited. He said, a couple of years ago, I explained the pillars necessary for a business. And I think if you look around the YouTubes at the moment, those have been advised as well. They've been brought out again. But he gave those pillars of a successful business about 2 years ago, I believe. So they really are worth looking at. He also then started taking some questions. One of the questions was, if you buy any of the products, the one single sign-on to the ecosystem is designed across with any other products needed to operate the product. All roads lead to Rome. So that basically means it doesn't matter whether you buy one product, 2 products, or 3 products. They all have to be within the ecosystem. They all have to be signed underneath a founder at the beginning. So everything leads to the right place. We create the features to work across the ecosystem, and the passive technology is designed to work all across that system. Also, remember, he also said it can be sold as an API, an applicational program interface as well. That is the ecosystem itself. Obviously, more details of this will be coming later, but companies and businesses can then sell that ecosystem and OnPassive obviously will charge them for the usage of the ecosystem that they are using themselves. He gave an example, OCONNECT, the integration with everything else, calendars, contacts, live, universal data that can be retrievable across the ecosystem. And all of this is because it is reusable. This means that it is not just for OnPassive. It can be resold to companies, corporates, etc., for every other product to then go into that system as well. This is all just a matter of integration, he said. We wouldn't buy something attached to a travel service from OnPassive. If we do anything that will save time, money, and it features, we will certainly do this and share the wealth of it. It is disruptive, he says, and any product starts with a template, and OnPassive has that template because we are the template. Also, it's going to be rolling out a very new O-Net. That is going to be obviously music to a lot of people's ears. I think all products, guys, are going to be revisited on a very regular basis. I said this yesterday. He said, then O-Verify, there's no charge for us as founders to verify ourselves within the ecosystem, but this will be a resellable product as well. The status, he said, of the second data center is under work, and teams have traveled in multiple countries and will soon be in the UK. Do you hear that, UK? That is great news. It will be the most advanced data system out there once we get the level of data control beyond the digital arena. Then there will be a life after OnPassive. If you know, remember, at the moment we are still heavily involved with AWS, which is Amazon, for our hostings and data, etc. But this is only for now. With OCONNECT, there's also going to be a dial-in feature. This is also old school, but we are looking ahead as well. This means that you can use it a bit like WhatsApp when you're making calls over the internet. So that's great news. What else was said there? And it was said... remember, we don't say anything unless we have it or it is in process. Once I have said this, then we have already started work on it. He said, be on the lookout for O-Lux, Luxury and Deluxe, a creative mobile service. News of this is obviously will be coming shortly. There are different levels or positions you can attain in the company. How high do you want to go? But the ability is there for everyone. With OCONNECT, he then went on to talk about speech-to-speech. This is a revolutionary feature. It was tested a couple of days ago, actually, and we will see it applied very soon with no extra price charge to OCONNECT. This will make a huge buzz within the marketplace. There's also going to be a safety certified data center, which is fantastic. Compliance and the DORA Act, very difficult to comply. And OnPassive is making sure it is compliant in 200 plus countries. We have actually got 2 compliance departments, he said, one in Dubai and one in Hyderabad, to make us financially compliant. This is a massive workload to achieve, but we are going to make sure it happens. He also mentioned about O-Verify, that the data that we collect must have the highest security measures possible. That is it being implemented. Eventually, we will have control 100% over this with no third-party needs. That is the achievements that we want for total freedom. Also, in the future, he said your existing alternative emails will not be needed. We have something else in place for that. He went on then to talk about O-Mail Pro. It might be another name for this, guys. I did mention it slightly yesterday. This is going to be a paid version of O-Mail. It will be have lots more business features, etc. In each week, he said there will be extra releases for it. There is a build up and release for each of these products. Again, there won't be any price increases for the extra features. They're going to be added to O-Mail Pro once that purchase has been made. He said, will people, so the question was, will people joining now have the same traffic? Up to now, the traffic has been for founders exclusively. He said, founding members will always have exclusive traffic incentives, and new resellers will not have the same. That has always been the same. If you remember back on many of the initial webinars, he said that founders will always have a higher percentage of traffic than resellers, or now affiliates as we know them by as well. That's not changed, and that was great to hear that there is, again, an extra benefit for being a founder in OnPassive, and one of those is having a higher traffic source that is going to be specific for founders. He talked slightly about the accounts that not being able to access O-Mail. When the data adjustment happens, all of these accounts will be sorted. So the solution has been deployed and it will be resolved very shortly. And Ash guarantees that no one will be left behind unless they want to, of course. Trust in the company couldn't accomplish with OnPassive has done up to this point. It is known they know how to market, and it will market for every level of business person. This is the recipe for success for all involved, not just a few. He also said that being engaged is very important. He said, in 1 month, so much will happen. We know this anyway, don't we? When we go over the recap on a 360 that I do, in 7 days, look how much happens in 7 days. So in a month, there's an awful lot that happens in a month. He said, if you start feeling lost and is because you are not informed. This is your safety mask, he said. He said, purchasing the products to set yourself in a place to earn commissions. Then once you have your personal needs met, make it your goal to reach out to others and build a legacy to leave for them as well. He said, AI, artificial intelligence, is going to help target who to connect with via O-Net. So it's not necessarily just about advertising, etc. He said that O-Net will certainly help you with those goals as well. The company is right where it needs to be today. He said this is making sure that we are dependent versus independent. He says successful people do not ask how much it costs, but how much can I achieve. He said these are all things that he was talking about when the questions were being asked of him. He said one can never be over-prepared, so keep preparing for the next steps. This includes logging in regularly, sharing the company blogs and the company YouTubes, etc. He then went on to say that he was going to be going to the next Rob Lynn, and that was going to be called Over Prepared. He said it is a done deal and the numbers don't lie. numbers are powerful with OnPassive. He actually went on to say that we are now heading towards 3 million people within OnPassive. Anyway, that's a brief recap, guys.